Hey guys, let us begin with the inside current affairs for prelims Insta 30. Yesterday we covered till this palm oil story, and topic for today is coastal erosion. Now what is the context in news? Recently, Ministry of Earth Science (MOES) they said 34% of India's coastline is under erosion. 34% of India's coastline is under erosion. Now, West Bengal has suffered the worst. That is 60.5% of its coast is threatened by erosion. Now, what's the definition of coastal erosion? Coastal erosion is a process by which local sea level rise, strong wave action, and coastal flooding wear down or carry away rocks, soils, and/or sands along the coast. So, coastal erosion is nothing but the coastline is being eroded because of sea level rise or strong wave action or flooding. This is called coastal erosion. And the process, there are four main processes of coastal erosion. They are corrosion, abrasion, hydraulic action, and attribution. Corrosion is basically corroding of the particles due to acid or something of that sort, which is corrosion. And abrasion is because of the strong waves, they bring sand and some heavy particles, and the coastline erodes because of that, and this is abrasion. Hydraulic action is because of when the water it enters a crack. If there is some crack or something in the cliff and water enters it, it erodes that particular coastal region. This is hydraulic action. And attrition is due to when two rocks or pebbles, when they clash on each other and it somehow erodes the coastal region. This is attrition. So these are the various types of coastal erosion process. Now what is the agency? National Center for Coastal Research NCCR under MOES is monitoring shoreline since 1990. So this is the particular agency, NCCR. What is the impact? Because of coastal erosion, destruction of biodiversity and habitat loss is happening, and then loss of fertile land, loss of tourism. All these things are affected severely. Now what are the mitigation measures? Coastal erosion structures like seawall, we can build seawall, then revetments, bypass, groins, breakwaters may reduce erosion in the short term. These are the short term measures. Now Indian National Center for Ocean Information Service (Icse) has prepared and published an Atlas of Coastal Vulnerability Index (CVI) map for entire coastline. So Icse CVI map can help in prevention, that if particular coast is vulnerable, we can take some preventive measures. Then Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan (ICZM). What is this? It ensures optimum suitable use of coastal natural resource. Then National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management NSCSCM, National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management. This is to research the areas of CEZM, including coastal resources and the environment. So this is to do research about the coastal zone management area. NSCSCM, Sustainable Coastal Management. So they have given the types: coastal erosion and weathering process. Subaerial weathering. Weathering happens due to then biological weathering also happens. Chemical weathering also happens. Abrasions, hydraulic pressure, that crack. This is the crack. Water is inside. So all these are erosion process. Then aridity anomaly outlook index. What is this aridity anomaly outlook index? The context is recently IMD released the index for the month of July. Aridity index, it is released by IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. Direction, remember the percentage of India under dryland. So we have to remember India's dryland percentage and their location. Key findings, nearly 660 of 756 districts, that is 85% of Indian districts, were facing different degree of aridity, while only 63 are non-arid. Only 63 districts are non-arid. All remaining 85% are facing aridity. At least 196 districts are in dip of severe degree of dryness, and 65 of these are in UP. So 196 districts are severely affected, and 65 of them are in Uttar Pradesh. And 69% of India is having dry land. This is important. India is having 69% of dry land. Now, what are the applications? Impact of drought in. So these are the application of that index. It tells us about the impact of drought in agriculture, especially in tropics, where defined wet and dry season are part of climate regime. Both winter and summer cropping season can be assessed using this method. Then large arid region are found in the desert of Rajasthan. So this is where large arid regions lies. It is in the desert of Rajasthan, Ran of Kutch in Gujarat, semi-arid regions of Punjab and Gujarat. Then rain shadow areas of Western Ghats. These are the large arid regions. What can be done? Now measures. Further intensify drought prone area program. We already have this DTAP program. We have to intensify that particular program. Then crop diversification. We should not yield highly water demanding crops in dry lands. Then cultivation of traditional varieties, mulching, intercropping, micro irrigation, etc. So these are some of the steps we can do. Now, what are the types of drought? Meteorological, that is, first one is meteorological drought. Actual rainfall is significantly less than climatological mean. So meteorological is something here. This is caused due to less amount of rainfall. And then hydrological, a marked depletion of surface water. Hydrological is due to depletion in surface water. And then agriculture. Agricultural drought is because of low soil moisture leading to acute crop stress. These are the three types of drought: meteorological, hydrological and agricultural. So this is a particular map they have given about the dry lands of India. Arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid regions have been given. Now, let's look into the places in use. First one is Donetsk and Luhansk. These two places, Donetsk and Luhansk, are the two areas that together make up the Donbas region on the Ukraine-Russia border. So on the Ukraine-Russia border, these two places are called Donbas region. Donbas is a key industrial hub, important for resource perspective, having the largest coal reserve in Ukraine. So these places are in Ukraine and they have largest coal reserves also. These two areas broke away from the Ukrainian government control back in 2014 and proclaimed themselves independent, People's Republic. So they proclaimed their own independence from Ukraine in 2014. Donbas region also offers strategic advantage for Russia. By controlling the region, Russia intends to create a land bridge to Crimea, a territory it annexed in 2014. So 2014, these two places, they declared their independence. In the same year only, Russia also annexed Crimea. Now Russia is trying to build a land bridge connecting this Donbas region and Crimea. Access to Black Sea and warm water ports in Crimea, such as Sevastopol, allows it to access important trade routes throughout the year. So not just this land bridge, they are also trying to access the Black Sea and warm water ports. Why? This can significantly improve their trade route. So they have given the map. We can just have a look into this. This is Luhansk and this is Donetsk and Ukraine and Russia. In their border, these two places are located. Then tribes and use. Indigenous status for 5 communities. What is the context? Assam government approved indigenous status for 5 Assamese Muslim subgroups. What are they? Gurias, Murias, Jolhas, Deshis, Shayats. Subgroups as indigenous Assamese Muslim community. So they have been designated as indigenous Assamese Muslim community. Indigenous status have been given by Assam government to Gurias, Murias, Jolha, Deshis and Shayats. Now what is the significance of this move? It will fulfill the long-standing demand. The indigenous status of Assamese-speaking Muslim communities will distinguish them from Bengali-speaking Muslims who migrated from East Pakistan, that is the present-day Bangladesh, to Assam. Many Muslims have been migrated. So this indigenous will recognize the Bengali-speaking Muslims. Now better benefit. The move will ensure that development in health and cultural identity, education, financial inclusion, skill development and women empowerment. These are the benefits. Recently declared indigenous communities in Assam. Deshis, Jolhas, Shayats, Gurias and Murias. Next is Hathis community. What is the context? The demand for tribal status for Himachal, Transgiri and its Hathi community. So there is a demand going on for tribal status of this particular community, Hathis community. The Hathis are a close-knit community that takes their name from the traditional occupation of selling homegrown crops, vegetables, meat and wool at small town markets known as haats. So haats are like market. These people, they will sell their homegrown crops etc. in their market haats, so they are called Hathi. Hathi men traditional, I think Hathi mean traditionally don't distinct. I think it should be don't or something. I'm not sure though. They headgear on ceremonial occasion. So there is some doubt here in this particular line. So this is the Hathi area. It is in Himachal Pradesh. Now next news is Johar greeting. What is the context? The 15th President of India, Draupadi Murmu, assumed the office Monday with a Johar greeting to the country. What is the Johar greeting? Johar essentially means salutation and welcome. This is about saluting and welcoming and is used within the tribal communities of Jharkhand and in parts of Chhattisgarh and Odisha. According to several tribal leaders from Jharkhand, the word Johar means paying respect. So she did this particular way of giving respect, salutation, which is called as Johar in Jharkhand area. The tribal communities are nature worshippers and follow the Sarna religion code. Sarna. This is the religious code of tribal people, although it is not an official religion. Then the next part is society and social justice. Interpol's Icse Initiative on child sex abuse. Interpol's Icse. What is the context? India's Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) has joined Interpol's International Child Sex Exploitation (ICSE) initiative that will allow it to collaborate with investigators in other countries for detecting child sex abuse online and identifying abusers, victims and crime scene from audio-visual clip using specialized software. So what is this Icse initiative? This is an initiative by Interpol. Icse means India Central Bureau of Investigation. So India CBI, they have joined this Icse. Icse is Interpol's International Child Sexual Exploitation. So we can collaborate with Interpol for detecting child sexual abuse online, and we can also identify the abusers, victims, etc. using a special software. The Icse database uses video and image comparison to analyze child sex exploitation material and make connection between victim, abusers and places. How? This avoids duplication and enables collaboration. The database avoids duplication of effort and saves precious time by letting investigators know whether a series of images have already been discovered or identified in another country, or whether it has similar features of other images. So it basically works on a kind of algorithm. So it can avoid duplication and it can help in identify the online crimes against children. Statistics show how in India, every 155 minutes, a child under 16 years of age is raped. So this is a very bad thing about happening in India. Every 155 minutes, so every 2 to 3 hours, a child of 16 years is being raped in India. Parents of sexually abused children are scared to tell anyone due to fear of being ashamed in the society. So this particular stigma has also to be broken down. They are victims and not criminals. They need justice. Previously, CBI had set up online child sexual abuse exploitation prevention or investigation, which is called OCSAE unit for using CSEM data. CBI introduced this online child sexual abuse and exploitation prevention or investigation unit. Now, this is the infographic. 60 countries are connected in this particular database. More than 8,000 plus offenders have been identified, and 19,000 plus victims have been identified. Approximately 15 children have been identified every day in 2018. These are some of the facts. DGCA is denial of pilot license to transgender person discriminatory ministry. So what this DGCA is issue? The context is the Director General of Civil Aviation DGCA's denial of commercial pilot license to a transgender candidate discriminatory and violate the law on the right of transgender people, and the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has written to the aviation regulator. So to this DGCA, Ministry of Social Justice has written that just because the person is transgender, you cannot eliminate them from giving commercial pilot license. So this is about that Adam Harry issue. He demanded guidelines for licensing and separate medical standard to enable them to join the profession. Now, what are the social provisions suggested by Ministry of Transgender? Increase and specify the mechanism for medical checkup for pilot undergoing therapy. Committee drafting guidelines should have representatives from transgender community and medical experts work with transgender. Provide option to apply for all jobs regulated by DGCA. Guidelines for licensing for transgender person. Develop medical standard and review drugs used in hormone therapy. So these are some of the provisions suggested by the Ministry of Transgender. The issue came into limelight due to denial of this one. Denial of pilot license by DGCA to a transgender Adam Harry. This is that person. Harry said that the officials at the Indian Institute of Aerospace Medical bullied him to undress. Citing gender dysphoria, they said giving him job would risk the life of 200 people. So he has been humiliated. That's why Ministry of Social Justice have condemned this. Blackout challenge. What is the context? TikTok has been sued for deadly blackout challenge, blamed for deaths of several young children. Many children have committed suicide because of a particular challenge came in TikTok. It is a challenge in which people are encouraged to choke themselves until they become unconscious due to lack of oxygen. So they are asked to choke themselves. And this is called Blackout Challenge, which was becoming viral in TikTok, and TikTok has been sued for this deadly act. National Internet Exchange of India, NIXI. What is the context? NIXI has established two new internet exchange points, IXP in West Bengal. So they established two new internet exchange points in West Bengal. IXP is Internet Exchange Point. Is a physical location through which an internet infrastructure company such as internet service provider and CDNs connect with each other. So this is kind of physical location, IXP, and two of which have been opened in West Bengal region. Now NIXI, it is a not-for-profit organization under the Companies Act established in 2003. It works for the exchange of domestic internet traffic between ISP members and allocates internet protocol addresses IPv4 and 6. So every website or everything in the internet, they have some particular IP address. This has been provided by NIXI, and it's a not-for-profit organization, and it also works for the exchange of internet traffic between ISP and this IPv providers. Recently, NIXI announced to offer free domain IDN in local Indian languages. So it also offered this free domain IDN in local Indian language. Now what is NIXI? National Internet Exchange of India. It was set up for pairing ISPs among themselves for the purpose of routing the domestic traffic within the country. Reduced bandwidth charge for ISP by saving on international bandwidth for better quality of service, reduced latency for ISP. So it basically provides better internet infrastructure in India. So our GS paper 1 prelims current affairs have been over. Now that's all for today. Thank you.